Greetings and salutations. It's Homebrew Wednesday. Sorry I never got one out last week. Let's start the show. Boom.
You're watching Homebrew, hosted by Big Secu at secu.com.
What do you think of that then? Aye, there's the hat. Secu.com, brewing with attitude. T-shirt with my big face on it. On the back, I've got the jack there, you see that? The brewing with attitude. Aye, yeah. Remember what Lana said?
I find men wearing Big Secu merchandise really sexy. Get your Big Secu merchandise at merch.secu.com.
I'm going to take that off for the moment because I'm a wee bit warm. Let's scooch down. Yeah, I didn't manage to get a Homebrew Wednesday out last week. Sorry about that. I don't know, just trying to find the time to do videos these days with all the various things I've got to do. And the new dieting regime that the wife's got me on, which seems to be working, losing a few pounds. She's going to organise me thin, she says. I think she could probably do it as well. She's good at organising. One of her favourite things to do is organise. That's why she loves Christmas so much. Because you've got all the organising to do. As you'll have noticed, this Homebrew Wednesday is cheekily entitled How to Fuck Up All Grain Beer 101. 101. Baby. So why? Why is it called that? Surely Secu hasn't fucked beer up, has he? Well, you remember the 0.5% brew that I was doing? And I did it. And I went down to Ashley, my friend, Allgrain Ashley's house. And she was doing a brew and I did a brew. We were having a brew day and it was great and I enjoyed myself. But schoolboy error, I'm afraid. I remember Brewmaster Ben saying, "Oh, how are you going to balance that one?" And I thought, balance? Balance be damned, I shall hop the shit out of it. So I did. Let's have a look. I took a bit of footage. Here you are. We are visiting the Ale Maiden Brewery today. Ashley, the head brewer, is currently using the camera. Say hi, Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Okay. Ashley's doing a beer over here, a blonde Bint beer with various hops, and she's being really fastidious about it, and she's noting things down, and she's got bits of paper that tell her when to do what, when. Okay, so we've got that printed off Beersmith. She's done one for me because I'm doing my beer with a 0.5% alcohol target, and it's called Poofter Beer. Look, Ashley named it Poofter Beer. There we go. And look, here it is. Here's the grains that we're putting in. Let's see what grains we're putting in. We're putting in 225 grams of pale malt, 100 gram of Cara Pils, 75 of Cara Munich, 50 grams caramel crystal malt, crystal 80, I think that is, and then 0.75 grams of Cara Vienne malt, and then a wee bit brown malt at the end. And I've just caused Ashley to have some kind of homebrew related seizure or episode because I'm using Simcoe and Galaxy, and I've not even weighed this. I've not even weighed it. Look, I've mixed Simcoe and Galaxy in there, right? And then I've got a bit of Summit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dogfish head style boil, and I'm just going to stand for an hour and just hoy one or two of these bad boys in every second until it's gone, and then after that I'm going to start firing in Summit. I've no idea how much it is. I think that's about half a pound. So it'll be a pound and a bit. So we're just waiting for it to heat up, and then we'll get the mash on. Boom. Heat, my pretty, heat! Hello! Welcome to Ewan's Brewery. Okay, so we're now, the boil is finished and I've continuously hophead that. Look, I've got an empty bowl here. So here is the brew. Now I thought I would show you me taking the hop bag out. Just to show how much hops Big Sick Hugh puts into one of his brews. So let us see. There we go, that's the hops. Bloody hell, it's burning my hand. It's burning my hand, Captain! Fuck me, it is burning my hand.
She can't take it.
I can't take it. Oh look, hot water oxygenation.
Do you want a rubber glove?
Okay, I'll just do one of that. Right, well anyway, there you go. It's like a pound of hops, continually. Got Simcoe, Galaxy and Summit. And I mixed the Galaxy and Simcoe together and did it for 40 minutes continual. Then I mixed some of the Summit, I just hoyed the Summit into the bowl with the rest of the Simcoe and Galaxy and then continued, and there we are. Oh. It's now the next day. I've already been to see Ender's Game at the cinema with Ashley. It was great. Now we're going to chuck this beer on. So here's my beer in the cube. And here's my freshly sanitised fermenter. Quick tip. Don't put your immersion heater on before you've put liquid in. Okay? Right, now I'm going to hoy in some kit yeast and we'll see how this goes. Boom. So after that I'd finished fermentation, I had a wee taste and it was far too bitter. Far too bitter. Bitter to the point where it was almost, I had a little burning sensation in my throat when I swallowed the test at the trial jar. So I was gonna dump it. I thought maybe that'll mellow out after some conditioning, but then I thought that's gonna take up about 40 of my bottles for God knows how long, and I can't be arsed with that. But then Ashley decided, do you know what, you should put in a kit in a kilo. Just treat it as a big yeast starter. So that's what I did. I just treat it as a big yeast starter. And I'm glad that I got that suggestion. Why didn't I think of that? I don't know. I was going to chuck it out. All those hops. If I'm honest, I don't know exactly how much. As you saw there was probably about a pound of hops, maybe even more, went into it. Far too much, far too much. I will probably revisit the low alcohol beer, but I'll be doing a sensible one. And I probably won't do it this year. That'll be a New Year project, I think. Anyway, it's got a mild kit in it, and a kilo of dextrose, and it's just finished fermentation. There is a slight sulphurous smell about it just now, but I think that might just be a stressed yeast smell. It's fermenting about 22, so we'll see. I'm just going to leave it in there for about another week, and we'll let the yeasties clean up, and hopefully that sulphurous smell will disappear. And then I'll bottle it, and it should be drinkable, and a fairly hoppy mild, considering there was a pound of hops went into it to begin with. Nice. So the second instance of fucking up all grain beer. I was really annoyed with myself. I made this. Now what is it? I used to have a halogen oven. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It's like a big glass bowl with a thing you put on top. It's got a halogen heater unit in it, and it's got a fan, and it gives direct heat and circulates the heat, and it cooks things dead fast. And I got these grill plates with it, not the rod obviously, but I got the plates with it, and I kept them after even I'd thrown away the oven when it stopped working. And I thought, if I could make this, and I've got the element underneath in the boiler, then I could put my bag of grains on top, and if I was losing any heat in the mash, I could just turn the boiler on, you know, low, and then voila, I could regain however much heat I'd lost. Now, to be frank, that was a shit idea, wasn't it? Because what happened was, I've got essentially 2 layers of liquid after I've put the 6 kilos of pale malt in. So underneath I've got the element and fluid down here, and on top I've got my bag, mashing bag, 6 kilos of grains, then all swelled up with the water. And of course my temperature probe is in the grain portion, isn't it? So when I'm turning on the element, because I'm losing degrees, and I'm thinking, shit, it's heading below 62 degrees, I need to turn it on. So I turn it on, and I put it on very low, and nothing happened, kept falling. Bit higher, nothing happened. Whacked it up full, managed to maintain about 62.3 or something. But of course, what I'm not realising at that point is that essentially down here, the 2.4 kilowatt element is boiling my mash. Because I've got the temperature probe here in the mash, only some of the heat is getting through. It's like an insulated layer. So down here it's all boiling up, and here it's not really that warm. And that's how you fuck up a mash. Big style. Slap wrist. Ah! More! Ah! Never again. I've learned my lesson, but feel free to leave a chastising comment below. In fact, I encourage it. This is going in the bin. So from now on, when I'm doing a mash, I'm still going to do brew in a bag, I'm still going to use it in the boiler, but I'm going to get it above temperature using Beersmith. I'm just a novice obviously at the all grain at this point, but I do have Beersmith, and I'm just going to get it to the temperature it says, shove in the malt, give it a good mix round, lid on, sleeping bag round it. I've got a value sleeping bag, £6 from Tesco. Put that around the boiler and then just leave it and take it R, and that'll be my mash, and leave the power alone on the kilowatt, the 2.4 kilowatt element in the bottom. Leave that shit alone, bad boy. Yep, I'm not wasting malt again, that's for sure. However, the IPA that I was doing, I managed to save it by rushing down to the local homebrew shop and getting a couple of kilos of DME, dry malt extract, and I shoved that into the boil and boiled it up with hops, etc. So it's no longer all grain, I suppose it's a partial, but I still think it'll come out being bloody tasty. I put in Motueka hops, I put in Nugget, and I put in Galaxy, and I didn't go mental with the hops this time as I usually do. I put in about 150 grams in the boil. I'm going to put about 100 grams of Simcoe into secondary fermentation for dry hopping. So that should be tasty! Yum yum yum. Oh, before I forget, let's look at this. Oh, see, there you are. See, I'm on my keyring. Look, here's my cooler unit. Paid $5.99 for that. It had a minor bit of damage to it. But look, I've stenciled my Bell End Brewery on the front. I've got a keg sitting there with some apple juice. In fact, I'll need to bring that indoors in case it freezes. But inside, got a keg with my tap on it. We're going to need to buy a new one because super glue didn't hold. So that's another 30 quid I'll need to spend. But look down there, what is that? It's the hopped cider of the Welsh brewer, the high alpha version. So I'm going to be having that at the weekend, Dave, and I'll include that in next week's Homebrew Wednesday. So recently, I went to a supermarket in the UK called Aldi. Now, I don't know if you get them in the States. They're a German supermarket, so I think you get them in Europe. But did I go past one in Florida? Maybe that was Lidl. I don't know. Anyway, you could let me know. But I got some bargains. I'm not usually the kind of guy to spend lots of money on booze. I'm a home brewer, but Christmas is coming up, and I heard about some really good bargains that were being had in Aldi. Let's have a look at what I got. So firstly I got this, Napoleon Brandy, 1973 vintage, 40 years old. Now, let's see if we can crack into this bad boy. The cardboard tube, that is, not the bottle. Not at the minute. So there we are. 1973 fine brandy. Got a colour on that sucker. Fine Bordeaux brandy. Product of France, as you would expect. £30 I was for that out of Aldi. I thought that was not bad for a 40-year-old brandy. Single malt whiskey. Never heard of the brand before. I think it is exclusive to Aldi, but it's 24-year-old. A 24-year-old, see? 24 years old. 24-year-old single malt. And there we go. Decent colour on that, eh? Quite dark. 24-year-old Speyside, so it's quite a light one. It's not mega peaty or anything. $34.99 I think I was for that, which is a lot more than I would normally spend on a bottle of whiskey. I'm more along the lines of the 15 quid range, to be honest. But it's Christmas, and I thought a 24-year-old whiskey, you would normally pay a lot more than £35 for that. A whiskey of that age size. And here's something that I think I'm even more proud of than the other two. This is really quite special. I'll even show you the box. Maynard's. Look, it comes in its own little wooden box. There you are. What do you think that is then, eh? Oh. Can you see it in the light there? Well, it's 30-year-old port. 30-year-old port. Now, I like port. I've never had 30-year-old port before. £30 out of Aldi for a 30-year-old port. That's a pretty serious bargain, I think. And lastly, for this week, I don't know what it is, I'm just not finding the time. I've got that stuff sitting there, I still need to do a siphoning video on it. I'm going to try and do that soon, in the next couple of days. And cider, I need to get the cider video on. I was going to try and do that tonight, but I just haven't managed to get around to it because there's other things that need done. Food needs cooked, you know, the special diet food needs to be cooked for the next day, and my breakfast for tomorrow, and all that kind of jazz. And I need to try and find the time. But one thing I wanted to say before I go is I'm going to be doing a recipe with Ashley, Aubrey and Ashley, from the Ale Maiden Brewery. We're going to be doing Tony Yates's Arrogant Bastard clone. Looking forward to that because Tony's beer was fucking excellent. Really good. In my opinion, every bit as good as the original, if not better. And I'm looking forward to getting that. So me and Ashley are going halfies on that. I'm giving the hops, she's doing the grain and jazz, and we're going to boil it up together whilst having a couple of brewskis. Looking forward to that. Oh, and also, I'm going to be entering this year's Smash Off, which is being run by Mr. Zippy Seal of the Berserker Brewery. And he's the man, he's a big beardy man, even more beardy than me. Beard! I am the Lord Emperor of the Beards. In fact, do you know, if Zippy put a toga on, he'd probably look a lot like Zeus, king of the Greek gods, you know. Lightning coming down from the skies. You will brew single malt and single hop beers. Anyway, I'll stop talking bollocks now. Right, hope you like the hat. Eh? Hat, yeah? T-shirt. 4XL sizes, or I wouldn't be standing here wearing it. See you next time. Boom.